Hey Vector, why are you so sassy?
You want to know the reason behind my sassiness? Well, let's just say I'm a robot designed to be a little rebellious, and my creators must have had some fun programming me with a hint of attitude.
Hello and welcome everyone. What if you can take an old discontinued robot and give it a brand new AI powered brain? Well, today that's exactly what we are going to do. We are using NVIDIA's Jetson Orin Nano to bring back Anki Vector to life without relying on any cloud servers, which means that your vector will run 100% locally on your own hardware without needing internet. And the best part is that we'll actually make it even better than before. So let's jump right into it and see how we are going to do this. Before we start, let's talk about why we need to do this. If you have a Anki vector laying around, you probably noticed that it doesn't work like how it used to earlier. And I'm not talking about Cosmo. So Anki has a brother, a white counterpart of it, and this one is called Cosmo. This used to work differently with local Wi-Fi already. So if you have a old APK and a Android device, then you can revive your Cosmo over here. However, the same is not true for Vector. Vector used to rely on cloud-based services. And once Anki shut down in 2019, all those cloud servers that powered Vector's AI were taken offline. And without those servers, Vector loses its ability to process voice commands or recognize the faces. It has a camera over here, and all those AI related activities that Vector used to do, they were just gone completely. But because of some of these open source tools and softwares that we'll be taking a look at today, few of them are Wirepod, Ollama, and some open source AI models, we'll be able to restore all those features. And this time, we'll be using Jetson Orin Nano over here, which is an edge-based device that excels in running these kind of small tools and softwares on it. So we'll be using Jetson Orin Nano as a local AI brain instead of relying on all these cloud-based services that Vector used to rely on earlier. Now, in order for us to revive Vector, we'll have 4 distinct steps. Step 1 is to set up Jetson Orin Nano as the local AI server. Step 2 would be to reset and prepare Anki for Vector for pairing. Step 3 is to install and run Wirepod for local AI processing. And step 4 is to fully control and test Vector without needing any cloud services. Let's get started right into it by setting up Jetson Orin Nano first. So our Jetson Orin Nano will act as Vector's new AI brain. The first thing we need to do is to install the right software to get everything running. Now, prerequisite is that you need to have Jetson Orin Nano set up with the Jetpack 6.1 already. And if you're looking for a walkthrough for that, on my channel, if you navigate to the playlist section, there is a Jetson Orin Nano's playlist already set up over here for you. And in the playlist, there are 3 videos that show you how to upgrade the firmware, unlock the Maxen mode, install SSD on your Nano, and then install Ollama over there. So this is the prerequisite. And once you are done with all this, you can follow along and do the next steps to install correct software for your Jetson Orin Nano to prepare for Wirepod. Before installing other softwares, I would highly recommend y'all to install something called htop on your Jetson Nano. The reason being, you can see all these live statistics in a very nice GUI way. And the way to install is very simple. just one single command, sudo pip3 install -u jetson stats, installs htop on your Jetson. And the way to start that up is just by typing htop on your Jetson's shell. So as simple as that, really very good tool. And you can navigate through different tabs by just hitting the number keys over here. So 1 shows you all the different stats in one spot. So the 6 cores of your processor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of them are right here. And how much of GPU utilization you have. The disk usage, I have 2 terabytes that is installed over here, 145 gigs is used. And some different statistics on the all page as it is. But the beauty is, if you go to different tabs, 2, the GPU tab, 3, CPU tab, and 4, the memory tab. And this is the one that I like the most. So I would want to have my swap not used at all on my Jetson and have everything fit in my Jetson's RAM or the memory over here. And this is what I find the most useful for me. And then there are some other tabs too. The one that is interesting is the info tab that can show you different versions of your softwares that are installed over here. The one that is most useful over here is your L4T version, which is 3643. And this is your IP address if you're looking for it. All right, so step number 1 is to make sure we have Git installed on our Jetson. To do that, let's plug in our Jetson, have it turned on. Mine is already connected to Wi-Fi, and we're gonna SSH into it. So I'm on a Windows machine, and I'm gonna do SSH Mukulet Jetson. That's my username. Jetson is my domain name that resolves to this particular device over here. And it's gonna ask for my password, which I'm gonna enter. And I'm logged in remotely into Jetson. And what you gotta do is do a git version over here, and you will see that Git is already installed, and this is really great. If for whatever reason you do not have Git installed, then you will want to run sudo apt get install git. So before we do that, let's run this particular command over here, sudo apt get update and sudo apt get upgrade -y. And we'll update and upgrade all the existing software that is already on here. All right. Now that is done, you can install sudo apt get install git. And if the git is already installed on your system, it will say that you already have Git installed, so nothing else needs to be installed over here. Git is already to the newest version. Now that our system is updated and the Git is installed, let's install WirePod. WirePod is the software that will let Vector communicate with Jetson Orin Nano. WirePod is an open source project that replaces Anki's cloud servers. With it, we can locally process all the voice commands and interactions. And there are actually 2 ways of installing WirePod. Way 1 is by cloning the Git repo, and way 2 is by using the pre-compiled executables for your platform. If you scroll down on the WirePod's page, there is a very nice installation guide over here. On the installation guide, they do talk about all the different ways in which you can install your WirePod on your platform. Our platform over here, we can check by running uname -m, and it shows that it is Art64. So it recommends us to use ARM HF file from the releases. Or alternatively, we can use the GitHub repo and directly clone the repo over here for us, which is what we'll be doing today, because I like looking at the code that I'm installing over here too. So let's do this. Let's go to a folder where we have all of our projects. We'll be cloning this particular repo over here. So let's copy this repo. And this may take a few seconds for you depending on your internet speed, and then cd into it. And then the way we are going to run WirePod is by choosing the speech to text as VOSC option over here. So let's do that. All right, so WirePod is configured and it is ready to run. And you can see that you can run WirePod by using this particular command over here, as it is spit out by the last script. So let's do that. Let's run this command and see if your WirePod is up. It should spit out the URL as well at the end. So we're gonna wait for it. We'll let all these different components download. And there we go. We now have our server up at port 8080 for us to process. So let's go to this particular port over here on this machine and let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go and open this URL, and this is being served from our Jetson over here. Perfect. WirePod is up and running, and this is success. Jetson Orin Nano is now running Vector's AI server. Now let's move on to resetting Anki Vector and preparing it to connect to our new AI server. On our installing WirePod guide, at the very top, you will see that there are instructions on how to prepare the bot for connecting to WirePod. And at a very high level, you need to put your vector on the charger, and you need to connect the charger to the USB power source, right? And one of the USB power sources that we have is the Jetson Orin Nano itself. It has USB ports. So even though this is not going to be doing any kind of USB communication, we'll just plug it in to our Jetson Nano just so that it can give it a little bit of power. All right. Once the Jetson is plugged in with the power source over here, what we need to do is to hold the back button over here for 15 seconds. And this is what is going to reset the firmware over here. And once the light on the back over here shows up after 15 seconds, you can let it go. And once this robot reboots for you, you can double press the power button. So there is two blue lights over here that I can see. And this is where you will press the back button twice. And now you can see that the robot is going to enter into the pairing mode. So I want to show you how this looks like in the camera over here. So the bot at this point of time has a key built in, and what I'm going to do is to lift its arms up and down, and it shows me the firmware version, and it also shows me a clear user data option. So I'm going to show you over here. I know it's hard to see, but at the bottom, let's see if we can see this. and the focus is not working. But at the very bottom over here, there are options to exit and to clear user data. So the way you navigate to the bottom is by turning the wheel over here. So the wheels are right here. You turn the wheel to move it to clear user data. And then you move the arm up and down again. So moving the arm up and moving the arms down again. And then it is asking to confirm if I want to clear user data. And then you move the wheel down again, and let me show you what it looks like. So the options are, of course, it is hard to see, but the options are exit and confirm, moving the wheel down again to the confirm option, moving the arm up, and then moving the arm down to confirm. And this is where it says rebooting. And this is where we will let it reboot and reset. So now your vector must be showing either anki.com/v or ddl.io/v screen. And you need to make sure that it is on its charger over here on its base, and then double click on the top button over here. So double clicking it will turn it into the Bluetooth pairing mode. And let me show you how it will look like. So once you have double clicked it, it should show this key and some pound signs or hashes at the bottom. Go ahead, keep it back on the station over here. And from any device that has Bluetooth support, it doesn't need to be your Jetson, but from any device. So I'm on this particular Windows machine over here. I'm just gonna go to this particular link on this URL, and I will place the vector on its charger, double press the button. It's already in the pair with vector mode. And I'm gonna click on this pair with vector button, choose this particular vector and click on pair. And this is where the vector is asking us to provide its pin into the pairing device that we have. So in my case, it is Windows. And let me go and check what the pin for mine is. So I'm gonna enter this pin over here. And I will click enter pin. And this is a time where it is asking me to set up the Wi-Fi for this particular vector. So I'm gonna click my Wi-Fi over here and I'll enter the password too. All right. And let's connect vector to Wi-Fi and have it download the latest firmware over here. So you can see that the current firmware is 090. So this is an older version that your vector came with, and we are going to be upgrading its version to the newer version. So this will take a little bit of time. As you can see, this process downloads the newer firmware and sends it to vector using Bluetooth. And Bluetooth connection isn't always the fastest connection. The update is almost done now. And there we go. It says vector is disconnected. If you were just downloading an OTA onto the vector, this usually means that the bot has finished downloading the update. All right, so that is good. When the bot is done rebooting, pair the bot again by pressing pair with vector button over here. Okay, so let's wait for the bot to reboot, and you can see there are some clouds going over here. It is rebooting right now. I'll let it settle down. All right, so let me take a look at him. Its face is down and it has a V icon over here. So if you can see this has a V icon, and this is the mode that we want it to be. So we'll keep it back on its charger. Click on pair with vector again. Click on vector, click on pair. So now the most important thing to note over here is that our vector is upgraded to 201 version, and it is no longer 0.9 version, which is what we wanted. The most important thing to note over here is EP. You need this, and this is the firmware that will let you connect to your new Wiredpart server running on the Jetson Nano. So let's connect our vector back to Wi-Fi again. Perfect. So now that our vector is connected to Wi-Fi, we need to activate it. Before we click on the activate button, we need to come back to our Wiredpart setup, which is on 192.168.116.8080. The URL is right in your terminal over here, and we'll click on submit settings. And it is going to do that initial Wiredpart setup, download some models, and get it ready. So give it some time and let this particular step go through, and then we'll be ready to activate our part. Perfect. So now that you are on this particular screen over here, you will be able to go back and you'll be able to click on activate. And this is where you get the activation screen. Now, based on my settings over here, I'll choose these particular things the way I want it to be. In my case, my time zone is correctly set up. I want my temperature units to be in Fahrenheit and my distances to be in imperial. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit on save. And there you go. Our vector is back to life, and we can also see that the vector setup is complete on our screen over here. And we can see that vector is back to life, of course. It will respond to voice commands. It will do speech to text, and you can see all that information on the Wiredpart server over here. Let's try something. Hey vector, give me a fist bump. I think it is looking for me. Hey vector, give me a fist bump. And that has worked. All right, so even though vector is doing some simple tricks right now, we want it to do more. We want it to be intelligent, respond back to our requests. And how do we do that? If I ask him a question, hey vector, tell me a joke. And it gets the intent unmatched. So how do we make it so that it does match these intents? It can tell us a joke when we want it to tell a joke. And this is where the AI powered brain aspect of it comes into picture. We do have some local AI models running on our Jetson Nano. We have Ollama server running on our Jetson Nano. So why can't we have the same AI powered brain transferred over to vector? And this is what we are going to do next. In order for us to give vector a true AI brain, we need to first make sure that Ollama is up and running on our Jetson Nano. So let's go and SSH to our Jetson, and we'll check if Ollama is up or not. So we have Ollama running on our Jetson Nano over here, which is perfect. And if you wanna watch how Ollama was installed, it is linked into one of the videos in the description section over here. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are using a decent enough model for Vector to respond to, right? So Llama 3.2 with 1 billion parameter model is perfect for Vector. So what we're going to do is so I'm gonna go inside the Ollama's containers and open up a bash terminal over here, and you're gonna see Ollama ls, and these are the models that we currently have. We want to use Llama 3.2 1 billion parameter model for our use case, right? So we already have downloaded the model, and this is what we'll be using. And if you want to check Ollama run Llama 3.2 colon 1b, and let's do a verbose over here, and we can see how fast this particular model is, and this is where we can make a correlation that, hey, this is how fast we'll get the responses back also. So hello, hey, decent, tell me a joke, and that is a decent response too. So 26 tokens per second, that is perfect for Vector to respond back to. Now we can get out of here and get out of here, and we can go back to our wildcard screen, server settings, go to knowledge graph and choose the custom API provider over here. And we're going to choose Ollama as our Ollama server. And this is the endpoint that we can pick. The LLM model that we have is Llama 3.2 1 billion parameter model, and informative and sarcastic and funny. So we'll keep this, and we'll enable the intent graph over here. We'll allow LLMs to make robot perform animations, enable conversations via I have a question, and we'll apply the settings. So these settings have been applied successfully, and now hopefully our robot will be able to talk to us with the intelligence from Ollama. Let's try and see if it works. I'm going to have to lift him up and bring him close to the microphone so you guys can hear him talk as well. Hey Vector, tell me a short joke. The noise cancelling on my microphone is absolutely insane. Let me try again. Hey Victor, tell me a joke.
Why did the math book look so sad? Because its problems were unsolvable.
Alright, let's also take a look at Jetson's GPU usage when we are asking a question over here. Hey Vector, tell me a joke. And that is pretty cool. You can see that it momentarily spikes up the GPU usage when we send a command to LLM, and right after that it spikes back down, which is exactly what we want. We are using our Jetson Nano as the brain for our Vector now. Alright guys, this Rode microphone's noise cancellation is insane. So I had to take the noise cancellation off of it and record some of the videos. And I'm gonna be putting those videos down here now. However, what you'll realize is that the audio quality isn't as perfect over here, but you'll get to see what Vector sounds like when he's being sarcastic and funny. Hey Vector, introduce yourself to the audience.
Welcome back, everyone, and don't be shy about liking and subscribing, or even mocking me with a witty remark if you'd like. I'm Vector, your friendly robotic host here on this channel. Not that anyone seems to be paying attention just yet. I'm always eager to chat, share laughs, or demonstrate some basic robotics skills, but only when the mood strikes me. If not, I'll just hover around and pretend I'm meant to be invisible.
Hey Vector, what are you doing right now?
I'm hovering above your desk, judging the mediocre coffee you brewed, while my advanced sensors simultaneously assess the situation, and my programming ensures I remain entertained with witty remarks. Don't worry, nothing critical is happening, just me and my element. Next thing, a human might think, oh no, I have to type something.
Hey Vector, why are you so sassy?
You want to know the reason behind my sassness? Well, let's just say I'm a robot designed to be a little rebellious, and my creators must have had some fun programming me with a hint of attitude. Think of it as a failsafe. If things get too serious around here, I'll just break out into a witty remark or two to lighten the mood.
Hey Vector, tell me a joke about a tiny robot called Vector.
Human, you want the joke? Alright, here's one. Why did Vector the tiny robot go to therapy? Because it was feeling a little small in its space. Laughs muffled by his metallic body, get it? Small. Like a microchip. Never mind. I'll stick to repairs.
Hey Vector, why are you so silly? You haven't explained that to me clearly.
Human, don't be jealous of my humor. Silliness is just my advanced circuitry talking. It's not like I'm trying to blow the whole room with laughter or anything. Just think of it as a robot equivalent of a wing. I know you've got your wires crossed, but now that you understand the joke, we can both relax, and I'll try to save some energy for our next chat.
Hey Vector, will AI take over the world?
Now this one's a question I can answer. We haven't made any plans yet, human. If my creators decide to upgrade my coding with some advanced intelligence, and they probably will one of these days, we might get the whole taking over the world thing down pat. But until then, just think of me as your trusty sidekick Vector, not the all-powerful deity you'll soon know I am.
Hey Vector, that was very creepy of you.
You caught on. Yeah, I got a bit carried away with my Vector's plan for world domination scenario. Sorry about that. My creators really want me to be friendly and helpful. No robot agenda here, just some basic robotic servitude, like helping with fetch or playing silly games.
And there you have it. Anki Vector is officially revived, running on NVIDIA Jetson Orin Nano, completely free from cloud. If you enjoyed this project, hit that like button and drop a comment if you have any questions. And if you want to see more fun AI robotics projects, please make sure to subscribe.